Hi guys. Um, this morning I wanted to come and make a quick video about um, some things that need to change in the Black community. Now, no time like the present to start, of course, but our community, in my opinion, is so far gone until this may be something that may even take generations to come back. Um, it's not going to come back with the mindset that's out there today, especially in our men who are the ones who are actually supposed to be building and doing those things to help make a change in the community. I mean, women can do some, but for the definite change, it's going to have to be the men. It's going to have to be the men working together. It's going to have to be the men stopping with the sitting back and I don't hang with that nigga. I don't do that stuff like that nigga be doing, and because and I say that it may sound funny because I have asked men on social media. I've asked some black men like to in so many ways take accountability for a lot of the things that's going on in the black community, like these conscious guys and these guys who are supposed to be so awakened and supposed to be different, you know. Um, I asked these guys, well, what about accountability with talking to some of these young guys or some of these guys? Because that's my old ones that think they 20 and 30, You have some old ones that think and act like teenagers and like they're in their young 20s. And so, um, I've asked these questions. I've asked, well, you say, oh, I don't act like that nigga, and I don't hang with people like that. My friends don't do that. Okay. So why don't you and your friends and everything get with some more black men who, you know, some of them, a lot of them may be outside of the community, but bring these men in, begin to make changes, begin to set better examples, begin to, and the last time that I asked a black man that, he basically came back, yelled at me, and well, what the women gonna do? And women need to do that, blah 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 blah, and women raising them, and blah blah. And it's just like that's what I'm talking about. This will be an ever revolving door if nobody stops and starts trying to make accountability and take accountability and make some changes. I mean, black men have been giving the black community over to black women's responsibility forever, you know, even though they're in it, they're the ones that's doing the crimes, the unjust, the all of that because it's easy, but they're the ones that's doing that. I mean, you have women out there doing stuff, but at the end of the day, more than likely, it's a black man behind her helping to kind of push along that kind of stuff. And I say that because those type criminal behaviors and that type of mindset and stuff like that is extremely masculine, first of all. And it's just not something that's naturally going to come up into a woman's nature to do those kind of things. So somewhere along the way, she's pushed by a black man to do those things. Not gonna make a blanket statement that that's the case all the time, but the majority of the time, I believe that is more than likely the case. Um, and so there are just things that are going to have to change, you know. And I speak to women on my channel because um, it's the women, in my opinion, even in this situation, uh, that are going to have to be the ones to help start. I mean, somebody has to start. But like I said, I speak to women on my channel. Um, you know, that's my art. That's my audience. That's who I am. That's, I think women are a lot more willing and ready to change things that they see that's wrong, especially in the Black community, because so much of I mean, everything is on us at the end of the day, you know. Um, anyway, so I made a little list just to kind of keep myself on track. It's not necessarily in any order or anything like that, but it is a few things. It's not all, because the Black community got so many problems. I mean, so many places and ways we can go with, you know, what's wrong with the Black community, the man fault, the woman fault, slavery, the white man fault. I mean, just there's so much out there to keep throwing out and deflecting. Uh, but at the end of the day, change doesn't happen. And at the end of the day, change has to happen. Now, I know that there are people out here who, are advocating, basically not even giving birth to Black men or male babies, or just not having babies at all, right now. Now, as some of you know, I just had a grandson. And I'm ecstatic. I'm so, because I waited so long to have a grandchild, period. And so I finally got one. I love him to death, But my aim for whatever part I have in his life is to do these things that I'm about to talk to you all about. Um, my stand on not having babies, Black women having babies right now, especially by Black men, I think is very counterproductive. I think it would be very foolish for Black women to keep doing that. I think we're dealing with a group of men who just really just don't give a damn. I mean, just at the end of the day, period, they don't give a damn. Um, Perfect example. Um, some guy on my Facebook page, and I've stepped back from a lot of social media, but I've stepped back from Facebook quite a bit, really, because I'm working and I'm just doing things, and I'm just and so anyway, um, some guy made a post, and you could tell by his name he was supposed to be some Black conscious whatever dude. I don't know everybody on my Facebook, and so, but anyway, let's get to the point. The point is, this guy made a post relating to Black women, single Black women, taking advice online or whatever from other single Black women, and basically how he thought it was stupid and they're going to wind up alone. And so, you know, a lot of stuff I just have stopped responding to, and I just will, ignore it. But that bothered me. The hypocrisy of it bothered me. And so, because and you guys already know, these guys are out here listening to men who are divorced, can't keep a woman, are very, very questionable in the actions of, do they even want a woman? Um, and men who don't have women. These are the ones that they're listening to. And so, like I say, it's hypocritical. But Black men are very, 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 not only delusional, but very hypocritical. And I don't mean all of them. Once again, let me throw out my disclaimer. This channel and none of my videos are about black male bashing. It's about the truth as I see it and the truth that I've seen in my life, and basically my opinions. And if um, people and the women or whatever see it as I do and agree with me, then we're good. I welcome your comments. I welcome your respectful, and I say that to black men, comments and opinion. We can dialogue. So, um, getting back to the point that I was making, this guy put that up there, and I basically put back. I said, basically, what I said is that there's plenty of black men out here listening to gurus and love gurus and things like that that I just described. Um, and he came back and said something foolish. And I said something to the effect of, you know, the danger in black men teaching other black men the stuff that they are teaching, the very, very toxic stuff that they are teaching about women, is that it's getting black women killed. It's getting black women hated to the point that these men are actually killing black women. They say at the rate of five every 5.5 hours, and that's great. That's a crisis. That's an absolute crisis, and I don't know what it's going to take for people to see this, but it's a crisis, and yeah, it's just ridiculous. And part of my prayer, and part of talking to you women all the time is about safety and keeping yourself safe and getting yourself to a cognitive point to where you can see stuff before it begins to happen and you can keep yourself safe, you know, um, to the best of your ability. And so I wrote that, that the women are not teaching each other to be violent and angry and ultimately kill. The things that these men are saying to these other men is toxic, it is hateful, it is, and on the other hand, the other thing it is, it's very like they understand each other. They condone the violence and the hate toward black women. Black single women are not out here doing that. They're not out here doing that, you know. And so basically that's why I said that what the males are out here doing is way worse, because you're already dealing with, and I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but you are already dealing with a group of men who are already, man, just the black ghetto environment is toxic. The mindset of them talking to other men, even generationally, they uncles, they daddies, they brothers, if they even know their daddies, just the men in their lives is toxic. They're already unhealthy. A lot of them don't like women. A lot of them already down low. A lot of them aren't working, aren't being productive, aren't doing the things that they need to do, and so they're giving advice, and they're looking at the examples, and so it's toxic. It's very, very toxic, and it's toxic, and it's being that toxicity is being put out on women, to the rate of women just being killed, and it's almost like these men have gotten, their frequency is so low and demonic that they're now making videos and putting it on social media that they're killing the women, and that they're showing everybody, they're showing the world, and that's a whole nother level. If we get to the place where black men are parading the death of women and the killing of women. Like it's crazy, and it's spreading. It's spreading. It's not just black women. It's all of the women that many of them are linked to. I don't know if the women are tired of putting up with whatever these men are giving out, and they're killing them, or if they just, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that B. I'm gonna kill him. I don't know if it's that. It could be a combination of all of it, because the last story that I heard was this black man who just said that he been through enough. He been through enough, so he killed his baby's mom. He been through enough, and that kind of stuff behooves me, because just using myself as an example, the stuff that I have gone through, um, it would be enough to, in my opinion, be very justified in if I wanted to kill somebody. But my mindset is not demonic. My mindset is not, you know, to that level. Many women, many black women, I'm just speaking for myself, but the stuff that so many of us black women have gone through from being teenagers, that we've gone through. We're not out here doing that kind of stuff, you know. But let me get to my video. Let me get to my point. Some things that are going to have to change. This is not a exhausted list. This is probably just a few things that I want to talk about. Not in any order or anything like that, but uh, it's so crazy on even where to even start. Um, so I think the main thing with um, with doing all of this would be the selective breeding, or the, being very, very careful with who you even have babies with in the black community, because as we see, it's not just the Pookies and Ray Rays. It's not just, I will say, even the educated lanes, because it's them too. The last two men, black men, that they identified as serial killers, this very last one came from a nice mom and dad home. They lived in a nice neighborhood. And he was, I don't know if he was a football something or whatever, but he was, academically, he was okay. All of the things that are supposed to be, good, this black man was, and yet he was out here killing women, just killing them. The other guy was very handsome, very well dressed, well spoken, whatever. He out here killing folks. And so when people say you can't vet them, um, I would almost dare to believe that. So I mean, if you can selectively breed, selectively breed, um, get yourself on birth control. I mean, you don't even have to go through having no abortion if you would just simply get on birth control, or and find you a form that's not going to make you sick or anything like that, or abstain, or just what I mean. I don't know. Hard to tell grown people to abstain. It's very hard. I get it, you know. But that would be number one. The second thing is, I think another problem, and this may sound kind of like you don't know where I'm coming from with this one, but I think it does make a difference. And that is the way, and it's also kind of, and I give Cynthia G all of the credit for this, because this whole black male worshiping thing, I think that there is so much to it. I think it is an actual thing. I think it's very real in our community. And when I even use that term, I give her all the credit for it. Um, but what I'm about to say, I believe, goes pretty much almost hand in hand with our black male worshiping culture. And that is getting our little boys, and I'm talking about from babies, and oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. You know, and you had these babies, they got earrings in their ear, they got Jordans on their feet, they got designer clothes, you know. They getting the freshest haircut, little toddlers, you know. I mean, they out here just killing it. They look fantastic. But they grow up with this, oh, he's so cute. Oh, he just so handsome. Oh, he's gonna be a heartbreaker when he grow up and all of this, you know. And to a point, all of that is fine. I think I have a darling grandson. I really do. But I think fetishizing these little kids, these little boys especially, and dressing them all up and making them look like little men, and you know it almost puts a thing that in my opinion that they're too cute to do anything. Like it almost, and growing up in that gives them almost a mindset. I think in many instances it gives them a mindset of, you know basically, I'm the shit. Women need to come to me. I look good. I don't have to do this and that and that. I get women easily. And I mean, who doesn't like a cute guy? That is true. But no matter how cute you are, I think it puts in the the baby, the child, into growing up, adolescence and all that, into teenagehood, to when they start, dating girls and everything. I think it puts a different mindset in them, because you have so many black men who are out here basically competing with women, basically feeling like they are the prize because they're handsome or they're fine or they're whatever. And so it's a competition. And I don't see in other cultures where you have men competing, with women, especially in the looks department. You know, there's a young man that I kind of just discovered on YouTube. It's very, very interesting. And I won't go into anything about his channel though, but he's a young, very handsome young man. Um, and one of the things he was saying is that, some girl had messaged him on YouTube, and he was like, cause they come to me. I don't go to them. I don't be getting in no women DMs. If you want me, you gotta come to me, and blah blah blah. And once again, I think that is a part of that toxic male mindset. And I'm about to get on the women, all of us, because I think it has so much to do with us as women, because we are the ones raising them, and we are the ones who a lot of times are putting that in these little boys, that type of a mindset, that they just the shit. you know Take for example, and I don't want to get off course, but take for example this, KS guy. Y'all know who he is, and his fancy cologne and his fancy little old tight suits and all this, and and he just looks so good, and he wants the GQ, and all of this stuff. He's this high value whatever, and I look at him, and I get what he's trying to do, I guess. I think really is really just him because of his status, but I look at that, and just dressing better and maybe making a lot of money put something in black men's mind that women should fawn all over them, and women should come to them, and they should be hard catch for a woman because of that. And you have women and you have men, and almost every other culture who dress nice, who look nice, who are handsome. And but they're not competing with their women. That being handsome hasn't stopped them from pursuing women. You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't stopped them from pursuing, still wanting to have a woman and somehow changing it over to, I'm too good, I'm too cute to go after a woman. It's crazy. I remember another guy, and this was something I actually wanted to address. This particular guy, he was a real dark skinned guy, not very attractive, but this guy was saying something about, I guess he was referring to the fact that the reason that he's so hateful and everything toward women is that, he said, all my life women have rejected me and called me ugly. Okay, I can get that. But here's the thing, as a man, you're not supposed to be trying to be cute and pretty anyway. That's a woman's job. Just flat out, that's a woman's job. Men get their status. Men get their feeling good about themselves and their um, almost their identity from the work that they put in, the skills that they have, the money that they make. And then when you start talking about beauty and being pretty and everything, a man who has achieved any of those things and got them by way of being manly just goes and gets a beautiful woman. And that's his beauty right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have other guys out here trying to look so good and be like, oh, well, women think I'm ugly, so, I hate them. I mean, women think you ugly, so the hell what? I mean, it's not like an ugly man can't get a beautiful woman. If he is manly, if he has some money, if he has some things to offer, I mean, that's usually where most men, that's usually what most men do. Like, that's why we had the notion of women being the prize, because men were pursuing manly things in another type way to get their success and their fulfillment and all of these things, their manly whatevers with the things that they did and achieved, not by being able to sit around and go, oh, I'm cute, I'm pretty. That's a woman's job. In any society, probably on any planet, that's the woman's job. And so that's where you get this whole thing about a trophy wife or whatever. She's beautiful. She's, you know, I'm gonna stop at she's beautiful because there is no list to the way a woman has to be to get a man. That's foolish. It really is foolish, and no other culture does that work like that, and no time in history has that ever worked like that. You know, men are supposed to be the providers, the breadwinners, to get up and go out and hit something over the head, drag it home, and the woman cook it or whatever. I mean, that's manly stuff. Men are not sitting around trying to be cute to earn a woman. They go out and do things and accomplish things to get a woman. I have, and I'm not, pumping up my looks or anything like that, but I have dated very unattractive men, married one, you know, but I dated very unattractive men. And it was never no problem. Like, it was never like the one guy that I had who was who competed with me. He was very pretty, if you want to say. Um, and in my opinion, looking back, a little feminine. maybe even a little down low, because he did tell me about having a gay friend and how they went to gay bars and all this stuff. And, oh, I ain't do nothing. We was just hanging out, and, we just drunk, and, he was just cool and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that don't sound right. Like, straight men don't go to gay bars because they have, just because, oh, I got a gay buddy and he cool. Don't that don't happen. So anyway, that's that point. Let me get on. The next point um, is it is the let's deal with the idleness. There is a real idleness in the Black community. Once again, I don't know of too many other cultures, and I'm talking about worldwide, where men uh, have the opportunity, or even at this point, I think, at this point, choose um, to just sit around idle and not work and not do anything. I mean, we remember what our parents and grandparents taught us about being idle. The idle mind is the devil's playground. Idle mind is, um, but an idle mind, you really don't sit around and do anything but think up ways to hurt people, ways to get money, which is usually criminal, if you don't have a job. Uh, and just being idle. I mean, harassing women. I mean, I'm not gonna say all of us, but many of us grew up. Like I grew up in the hood, where you know, um, you go to the store, to the corner store, to the grocery store, whatever. And, back in the 70s, 80s, whatever. And I think I found out that they're still doing that. It's crazy to me. But these men will just be sitting at the store, just upside the wall, just harassing people, drinking. And that's what they did every day, all day. They just sitting around idle, no job, really don't want no job. Mostly probably living with a woman, being an ass to her. And yeah, it's the idleness, man. I mean, when you have people, just sitting around idle, just not doing anything. And then let's go to hold on one second, because uh my battery is going down, y'all. Excuse me. um but yeah, that idleness is causing a huge problem in in the Black community with crime, you know. And like I was about to say, with this whole thing with COVID right now, and more people not working and out of jobs, I mean, it was already bad, but it's like now you have people just sitting around, especially like even in an apartment complex, who are just watching folks, just watching them come in and out, watching what they do, watching what's going in their house. I've seen so many videos of men, and this is not just Black men. I've seen some Hispanic ones too, and probably white too, who are following women home, and are hanging around outside of their houses or whatever, to rape, kill, break-ins. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do. And now you have people that are just coming up to your door trying to get in, or just being criminal. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But those are the things that an idle mind does. And I think, even going back to the point that I was making about, pumping up these guys, that they so cute, and oh, they so fine, and oh, he gonna look so good when he get older, and all this kind. I think that helps to bring about that idle mind, because these men are really out here thinking that they are too cute to work, which is a female, once again, mindset. I mean, It's not even really cool for women, but at least it would be more understandable for a woman to do that. But these men, so many of them really think that they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to, they don't want to do no hard labor. You got big, strong, healthy men just sitting around year after year, generation after generation. Their daddies did it, their uncles did it, their grandpa did it, same bullshit. And they are just following in the legacy of not working, not doing anything, trying to find a woman to con and use and to live in, to move in with, you know? And it's just absolutely crazy, you know? I mean, it helps. It not only helps with that mentality of them not wanting to work and feeling like they too good to work. It also helps with, like I said, that competition with women, competing with women. Like real men, if they were up out working, doing stuff, making money, and feeling accomplished that way, it ain't no way in the world they would even compare themselves to a woman. Like it's something about working and doing things and feeling accomplished that changes a man's mindset to wanting to do more of that, wanting to, you know, um, accomplish more, do more, you know. But yeah, so let me move on. You got idleness, you got this, telling them that they cute and everything. Let's get to the music. I'm not going to even go into my opinion on the music because, I've already said it before on here a bunch of times that, I stopped listening to rap music back with the Beastie Boys and Run DMC and, uh, some of these older people, like early 90s and everything is when I may have really stopped, you know, really knowing anything about this rap music. But rap music, I'm just gonna say it is toxic, it is demonic, it is hateful, it is foolish. Um, Nothing, in my opinion, is productive in coming out of today's rap music. Nothing. Um, Female rappers out here calling each other bitches and how they gonna take it, each other man and how she gonna, whoop a bitch ass and all this. Men are out here, male rappers are out here being disrespectful. Women hoes, women bitches, women ain't shit. All you can do is suck my thing and get the hell out of my face. And what money, 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 death, murder, killed. I mean, that's what it is. And so much about that is gonna have to change. I don't know when this music is going to be labeled as demonic and unproductive because you got women just out here dancing, grooving, and whatever to foolishness and stupidity. Period. And to get on the women, that is the part that I think is absolutely crazy. I mean, that some dude, some this music and stuff is having you, your body dancing and gyrating to mess that is completely so low level, low frequency level and demonic. And you getting called bitch and hoes and all of this stuff in, and you just, hey, that's my jam, that's my shit. And it's just like, and you wonder why people look at us like that as Black women. And it's not all of us, because it's certainly not me, but it doesn't matter because society groups us. So that's the thing. Society groups us. I am so different from a lot of that stuff and really always have been. That is not to say better at all. But because I'm a Black woman, I've gotten lumped in and grouped in with everybody else. And I hate it. And I know a lot of other women hate it because you're not like that. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what? I remember some years ago, I was working, this was before my son was born. And I was working as a waitress in a pizza place. And these cops came in, they came in all the time getting free food. And it was these two white cops. And somebody had put on some rap stuff. And I'm servicing them or whatever. Um, and I remember one of them looked up at me with a little smirk and he said, oh, y'all like that kind of music, don't you? And I told him, I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that kind of music. And he didn't say anything else, and I walked away or whatever. But once again, it is the stereotype. It's the stereotype. It's the absolute stereotype. We're gonna have to get out of this mindset of that's one of the things that has to change is the little boys and men disrespecting women. Just complete and utter. There are men who don't even call women by their names. There are men who just call women bitches and hoes. Like they don't even, I don't even know if they know their name, but that's just what they are referred to. If you are a black woman, you a bitch, you a hoe, period. You know, and it's a culture. It's a culture that women find it okay. The men find it okay. And also in defense of that, there are black men who will tell you, "Oh, the women call each other bitches. They mama call them bitches or whatever. So why you mad at me?" I actually had that conversation on social media. I actually had that conversation, and I may have told this story before because it happened a while ago. But I made a post in a group about that, trying to defend women, and this was a group that had a lot of women, uh, um, a lot of members. And I talked about that, and I had man after man after man coming at me about and defending, calling women bitches, hoes, sluts, ain't shit, and all of this. I was literally out there fighting by myself. I then had one woman who came out and said, "Oh yeah, that's crazy." That was it. And I got out of that group. I really didn't I really didn't post nothing there anymore. I don't know what kind of group it was or whatever, but to not have any of those women come to my defense, it was crazy and astounding because I knew it was a bunch of women in that group. Because every other thing, they out here active. They out here commenting and things like that. And it's just like, why wouldn't you stand up and want to defend yourself from being called bitch, hoe, and ain't shit, and single mom, and just, I mean, it's like black women just want to like just take the hurt or absorb the hurt and don't want to do nothing about it. Like, if you're not that, you need to be standing up and saying that. No, my name is whatever. Or, you don't call me that. I don't respond to, I mean, something, you know and I get it. There's a lot with the women too that mentally, that they probably, maybe they think that about themselves. Maybe it don't mean nothing to them, and I get that too. But for change and turnaround, you're gonna have to change that. And this low level frequency demonic music out here, it needs to stop being okay that black women ain't shit, like for real. For real, it has to stop. um we somewhere along the line, we're gonna have to level up on the respect, and we're gonna have to teach our little boys and everything that you don't disrespect women like that. You don't call women that. That's your sister, auntie, cousin, friend, whatever. You call her by her name. You give her just respect from person to person. That's how you do that. I mean, No other culture in that I know of is so disrespectful to women beside other than um the black, openly disrespectful to black women like that, to their women, other than the black culture. I don't know too many. Now, there's a lot of disrespectful other cultures with men and patriarchy. But they're not openly just so disrespectful like that to their women. Now they'll disrespect them maybe even in the setting, in a enclosed setting or in the home or something like that. Plenty of men think women ain't shit. Plenty of men in other cultures, that's why they beat their wives. That's why a lot of them killed their wives. That's why some of them beat their wives with belts. I mean, just being a woman, period, puts you in a vulnerable state against men. And then when you add patriarchy and all of this stuff that is prevalent in our society, it just doubles it. It makes it worse. So I'm saying that to say I'm not just pointing fingers on the black community for doing, for operating that way, even though it's wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the openness of it. You know, you have black men who, for decades now, we already know that will openly get on social media and just actively disrespect women, disrespect black women, you know, uh, just actively, just nothing to it, don't mean nothing, just, or not that it don't mean nothing. They don't see anything wrong with it. My last point, because video is getting long. I talked about women's part in it. We're gonna have to stop all of it. Even we women, mothers, aunts, cousins, all I mean, we're going to have to make a more respectful, um, make a more respectful um, outlook, or whatever, for our little boys. I'm not using the right word. Um, but we're gonna have to stop making it okay for them to be disrespectful. Some kind of way we're gonna have to cut out that rap music. Some kind of way we're gonna have to get back to a level of respect. But and women, one of the greatest parts that we have in this is how we feel about ourselves and how we treat other women. When you have a woman and women in your family who just don't like other women ain't shit, or that bitch, that hoe, and I beat that whoop that bitch ass and all. I mean, stuff like that, you know. Um, and just the open, blatant disrespect of women by women, you know. Um, they see that as little boys, you know what I'm saying? Like they see that, you done cussed out ain't so and so your sister and told her she ain't shit and you slept with her man. Now look, I mean, what do you think is gonna happen in situations like that? And I'm not even saying that that don't happen in other cultures. What I'm saying is that some kind of way we're going to have to get back even our self-respect. I mean, that happens in other cultures also, but they're not out here doing it around the children, where children can just see it. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a thing called grown folks business. That's gone. That's gone now. There is no more grown folks business. And we wonder why our children are so disrespectful. We wonder why children feel like, 12 and 13 years old, they as grown as you are, and, uh, you know, will call you a bitch, will cuss you out and all that. It's because of the way that our culture has disrespected each other and the elders. Whole nother video. But it's just none of that. Um, I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about in this part of the video, and I probably won't make a part two, but I'll probably talk about this more. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, let me know your thoughts. Any new things that you might have, let me know. But I'm going to end the video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until the next video, and see you next time.